So I get asked this a lot. What are the best direct suggestions I would suggest any sort of therapist or coach use to either hypnotize a client or have a client quit smoking or overcome anxiety? Let me, give my advice here. So what is a direct suggestion? A direct suggestion could be something like go into trance now. You are a non-smoker now. You no longer have anxiety. Now, these are just off the top of my head. And there's a big teething problem, as you probably knew I was going to say, a big teething problem with this. Let's look at the hypnotic part first. When you say to a client, you're in trance now, or go into trance now, what are you doing? You're forcing them. What if they're not ready? Or what if they're not in trance or they're not feeling it the way you want them to? What does it do? Creates resistance. This is my metaphor for resistance, like a shield going up. It's like a wall, a barrier going up. Resistance happens. Once you start getting resistance with your clients, it's very hard to break. Therapeutically, if I put my client into trance and then I say, you are now a non-smoker, you feel incredible. From this point forward, you'll breathe in clean air. Every time you see someone smoking, it'll fill you with confidence that you're now a non-smoker. These are pretty general, direct suggestions in a script. What's the problem here? Symptom. You're not helping someone quit smoking. That's a symptom. You're not helping someone overcome anxiety. That's a symptom. So not only am I not going to use direct suggestions to put a client into trance because that's irrelevant, I'm also not going to use direct suggestions to tell them what they are not or what they're going to be because that is all symptoms. So do I use direct suggestions? No. Do I use indirect suggestions? No. Do I use language patterns? No. Why? Because of the problems we talked about then and because they're obvious, they trigger psychotic insight, stuff like that. So what do you do? What is my version of a direct suggestion? It's very boring. There's no language patterns. It's not very Ericksonian if that's what you're looking for. It sounds like this. Client, what's the problem? That's my favorite direct suggestion because it starts the therapeutic intervention from that one question, and it is very hypnotic in nature. I've explained this before, that when I ask a client a question, they have to go searching for that information. But when I use a language pattern and say you're going to, even if I use an indirect suggestion that's more confusing and has elements of you going into trance now, and as you breathe out, you feel heavier and that type of thing. It's very hard to off the top of my head because I don't use it. I'm now pushing that client into the place where I've told them to go therapeutically, so I can get them to the same place inside their mind, but without being obvious. And I'm killing two birds with one stone because I'm finding the payoff and doing the therapy and stuff like that. We've talked about that in the videos before. But all in all, guys, questions like, what's the problem? How is that a problem? Give me more information. Well, if that's what you want, how come you're doing this? Whatever the question is, doesn't require language. It doesn't require direct or indirect because that gets really confusing. Covert language, mind-bending language, all that stuff. Why? Because it's all obvious and it does not fit anything contextually therapeutic. If I start changing my language, I not only sound like an idiot when I'm using language patterns, my client starts thinking, why is Scott talking like that? That's really, really strange. Why has he talking like that? He was talking normal for us, and I'm already creating resistance in my clients. I don't want my clients seeing that I'm switching from person to therapist. I don't want that. I want them just to see me as Scott the whole time because it lowers resistance. There's no chance of psychotic insight being triggered. So my direct suggestions are therapeutic questions, not suggestions. Questions, because I need to find the payoff, the root cause, the aha moments. I need to find all of these things, where the knots are, what they need to be, where the hidden clashing realities, all that good stuff that happens therapeutically. I can't get that with a suggestion. Using language patterns inside of the suggestion, we don't have to worry about that because, again, I trigger psychotic insight because my client says, why is Scott talking like this? Now, a lot of people say that I'm going to use hypnotic language to confuse my client. There's two types of confusion. There's one that's a good confusion that can be triggered organically and naturally. That's a great one where your client doesn't know what's going on, but also at the same time, there's a lot going on inside their mind. There's also, and in most cases will be this one, a frustration. Like, I don't know, like you keep asking these language patterns and client says, I don't know what the question is. I don't know how to answer it. And they start getting frustrated. You get frustrated, you use more language. They get more frustrated. All in all, you just hit a dead end. You want to avoid all that stuff, guys. Resistance and psychotic insight are very real things. If you sound like an idiot, your clients will think you're an idiot and nothing's going to happen. So direct suggestions, covert, indirect, mixed suggestions, whatever it is, forget about it. Okay, guys? Look at stuff therapeutically, not hypnotically. Hope that answers that question. Thanks for watching.